It's the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. We're going to talk about some former AZ prep stars that are going to be playing in some big bowl games coming up this weekend. But before that, recruiting news first and foremost. A commitment, Jason. Turner Bernard from Mountain Ridge. He's headed to the West Coast.
Yeah, long snapper and the best one in the entire country. Committed to San Diego State. Huge get for the Aztecs because they beat out a Pac-12 program in the University of Utah. People underestimate and undervalue a very good long snapper, and the Aztecs are getting, like I mentioned, the best one in the entire country.
Connor Murphy in the news remains one of the top undecided players for the 2016 class out of Brophy. Big time offer comes on Christmas Eve last week.
Yeah, I had been told that it was really down to a three-team race with Oregon, Michigan, and USC for his services. But then Alabama comes in, offers him a scholarship. Now, Murphy's going to have a very busy January. He's already visited Oregon. He's also going to go visit USC, Alabama, and Michigan all on back-to-back weekends, then make his decision. 3
of the top quarterbacks in the 2016 class are going to be early enrollees at the schools they've committed to, and they signed on the dotted lines in the last week.
Yeah, so Daniel Bridgegad from Paradise Valley signed with Washington. Mason Moran from Chandler signed with Oregon State. And Corey Lyles from Saguaro signed with Wisconsin, all going to enroll in January.
And we've been talking, Jason, a lot about the former Arizona prep guys that went JUCO that are now going on to the Division I level. Another one, a former Mountain Point player, going to be headed to the Big 12.
Yeah, Markel Simmons, who was a very underrated safety, I thought, coming out of Mountain Point High School. He signed with Pima, actually sat out this last year, but was all conference as a freshman, just signed with TCU.
And TCU doesn't come around here very often at the high school or the JUCO level, so that's an interesting new school to come into the mix.
Yeah, first time in a long time that TCU is coming here and signed a kid out of Arizona.
And finally, Jason, what I mentioned off the top, we have the big Fiesta Bowl matchup coming up here this week, plus the college football playoff gets underway, and there is a lot of Arizona representation on the Fiesta Bowl, the college football playoff, 4 guys in particular. Let's go over some of the names and what they have done since their recruitment and since they've gotten to the next level.
Yeah, just speaking of those 4 players, all 4 of them were 4-star prospects by Scout.com. Huge, big-time recruits coming out of high school. Now, you look at Michigan State, they got 2 of them. Brian Lewerke from Pinnacle High School, the quarterback, and Cassius Pete, defensive end out of Corona del Sol. Both of those 2 kids, they're redshirting for the Spartans this year. Then you look at Cole Luke, who's at Notre Dame out of Hamilton High School, and Mark Andrews from Desert Mountain High School, now at Oklahoma, both big-time contributors. And you look at Andrews, who was an all Big 12 tight end this season for the Sooners.
Yeah, and he wouldn't go with the tight end tag back when you were covering him in high school, but sure enough, this guy knows what he's talking about, Mark, and congrats to you on being all Big 12. That's it for this week's edition of the Roundup. Again, that's Jason. I'm Jared. It's powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity on Sports360az.com.